it's time to start your virtual engines because we've got the biggest championship that you didn't even know about, and it starts very soon. 8 rounds. We're going to be going all the way live tonight. It's the Asrnz, an 8-round championship, and there's everything to play for. So cheers to that as we hand it over to your commentary team, Davo and the gentleman.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the intro, Chad, once again. And good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's official coverage of the Asrnz 2022 GT3 series. It's round 7. We're getting back to the Enduro format as we wind down the series. So look, things are tightening up with the points up the top, and these last couple of rounds being Enduros will quite possibly change everything points wise. Like I said, back to the Enduro format. We are at Circuit of the Americas tonight for round 7 in the States, as the title clearly states. Yeah, but it's looking like a wet round. I'm just getting a bit of vision from the track side there at the moment, and looking a little bit damp out there. So it'll be interesting to see how not only qualifying, but the race goes tonight. It's going to be epic. The points are tight at the top. We might actually bring the point standings up if I can just find that page. Let's have a look there. And as you can see, first on the ladder there, John McDonald with 305, and right behind him, Vic Chan at 304. 1 point between the two guys. I probably should introduce myself. I'm Davo, and I think my friend J-Man has just walked through the door. J-Man, welcome aboard.
Hey Davo, how are you, mate?
I'm well. We're just running through the overall point standings with the viewers as we wind down to qualifying. We've got about a minute and a half to go in what looks like a fairly wet track at the moment, J-Man.
Yeah, no, like a real sort of kind of not massively, not a massive downpour by the look of it, but consistently wet. So yeah, these guys will be up against it tonight with what tyre to be on at what time, Davo?
Oh, well, without a doubt. And it's round 7, so we're winding down, mate.
This one and one more.
And one more, both Enduros, and the points, as I was just touching on then, are close at the top, man. These guys, McDonald and Chan, are a point apart. So it's ramping up.
I mean, that's an amazing feat in itself, given that, I don't know if you touched on it, but John McDonald has not made a podium, to my recollection, this season.
Or maybe one, even if it was, I think it was a third. So.
Okay, let me just have a look through there. I can tell you now, looking at the data, he did not make a podium. The best result he's had is a 4th.
There you go. There you go.
But so very consistent. And, if we look at that points tally, 305 plays 304 Vic Chan, and then some margin back to 279, back to Dave Zero. I think the fight right now, I'll be watching with interest John McDonald and Vic Chan tonight, and looking at the way that they finished that official practice session. Oh man, it's on. It is on.
Isn't it what? Yeah, definitely. There's the boys roll out into qualifying, but I mean that really just that board there really does tell a big story about where the top end of the driver standings, and a few pro-am guys like smack bang in the middle of that
Brad Robertson and Steve Wilton.
Oh, mate.
3 points the difference. 266 plays 263. That's game on. Steve-O was right in that battle. He's sitting back there on 250. So he's got the better part of 16 points to try and find tonight with 17 in the grid. He's probably asking for Brad to not finish. But,
for sure. So we'll go to the pro-ams, because that probably that first list that we just showed you is pretty well shows all the pro drivers anyway. But the AM drivers here. So you just mentioned Brad Robinson leading the AMs, Wilton in second, and Steve Melling in third in that. So that's and they're all relatively close together. So there's a battle going on there. Mid-pack, and truly.
And the likes of, Jarks, who's only been here the occasional round, and the like, and that, they'll be, they've done really well. It's a good time tonight for Vaughan Martin to really step up and maybe try and cement that fourth in that championship. It may, I don't think there's probably not enough in it for him to try and catch Steve Melling for third in that at this point in time, but he can certainly cement that fourth, or certainly cement that top five tonight and next week as well. So,
for sure, and even a chance for Sam Carson over the next couple of weeks to, with the right sort of race, and outcomes could even challenge Vaughan Martin there. So
yeah.
Do we get down and just have a quick look at the AM Championship standings at the moment, J-Man, as these boys sort of come around the lap?
So Lucas Saar in the last 2 weeks really putting his name in the hat. We saw him with some outstanding driving at Alton Park, beating a significant amount before disaster at the end of, I think, race 2, some of your pro-ams. So Lucas Saar really doing a great job at the moment to be taking that lead off of Brendan Rolfe. And leading that one, albeit only by 7 points.
Yeah, so, true.
That's all to play for. I'm not sure. Is Bear Grylls in the house tonight?
I have not seen Bear Grylls' name. Bobby Laycock is in the room. He is not that far away from Bear Grylls. With Bear Grylls, if he does not attend, there is...
Bob could be looking at a podium for this. Yeah,
absolutely. So, look, these last couple of rounds, like we mentioned, both being enduros, are really going to play a big factor in the way their points land. It's a really good way to finish off the season.
Yep.
Double points.
Certainly not the one you'd want to miss.
Definitely not the one you'd want to miss, J-Man. You are so right, my friend. Okay, let's go out and have a look at what the boys are doing.
Where we're looking.
Look, we're just... Cameras on. John McDonald, series leader as we speak. J-Man, 1 point from Vic Chan.
And just welcoming in Dave's brother tonight. He's got to take the award for the most consistent viewer throughout the season. So really appreciate the support from Daniel.
There might be a trophy in that, so we'll just see how we go.
Probably should be. I mean, quietly he provides technical support in the background, which we really appreciate this season.
He's
so
a good spotter.
For that.
Yes, thanks very much.
And does a great job on spreadsheet, so we really do appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. So Vic Chan, John McDonald, two obviously that will be trying to keep an eye on. Qualifying is always a crazy few minutes, but we've got a 15-minute quali. It's quite a long track, this, J-Man.
Yeah, hey, well, look, being plus 2 minutes, in these conditions, you'd expect that at the better end, you'd see the guys at about 2:15, 2:16. So one thing to pick up on here, and I talked to a couple of drivers during the week, I sort of had a pretty busy week myself and haven't been around, but I did hear that, when you're talking about a 2:15 to 2:20 lap, and track cuts are very much going to be a point.
Are there an issue?
Topic
absolutely,
tonight.
absolutely.
So I've already looked down through the list already on guys on their first flying lap, and they have a track cut. So you've got another, in a 15-minute session, you've already lost effectively a couple of minutes of it because you've got a track cut. So discipline the key here tonight.
Absolutely. The track, and I do say it quite often, but this one in particular, it's got all tarmac off runoffs and just the nature of the sweeping stuff. Oh, it literally does beg you to just get out there and take a little bit more. And in these wet conditions, J-Man, that's going to be critical, isn't it?
Contact between Jamie Kosa and Dave Zero. And Jamie was 14th up. He's now got a track cut.
Oh,
he was on the improve. So
it was on the improve, and just a quick point to note is I'm glad to see Jamie back in the green Ferrari.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie. I guarantee you that car is quicker.
Well, look at it. It's already up the top on a 15.
Yeah.
So
yeah, nice work. Shane in the Porsche, as we just pick up on the cameras there, he's out
in the kitty litter.
Oh yeah, he had a bit of contact with the wall there. So trying conditions for the boys, and then definitely pushing those limits, J-Man, because that's a long way from the track to make contact with the wall there. So he's pushing that Porsche to get that far out.
Yeah, and you know what? As per the driver briefing, he's copped a drive, a track cut for that. So obviously that was going to be a no good lap anyway. But the issue lies now with just under 8 minutes to go, is that car will be heavily damaged. I can see it's got a little bit of left hand down. He'll have to bring it back, get a new one, and go again. As per Asrnz standard qualifying rules, you can't escape. So
no, so he'd be heading for the pit straight away, and look, mate, he might get one flying lap, you think, after damage repair?
Well, he
maybe
technically he only has to bring the car back in, and he can effectively escape from the pit lane back and just drive out, as long as he gets his tyre config right. It's okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So you're not required to repair the damage, you're only required to bring the car back to pit lane.
So yeah, you would definitely think, and as the more I watch it now, the more it looks damaged, the way it's the body language on that car. So
yeah,
who else?
Well, Vic Chan is 4 tenths up, 5 tenths up. John McDonald's a couple of tenths up. So those guys are really fighting for who wants to go with Jamie.
Definitely 5 tenths up from Vic Chan will easily put him in front of Jamie in the Ferrari, but they're going tit for tat here at the moment. With Jamie, 6, 7. These guys are on fire, Jamie.
They're all looking to improve. Even Jordan Moss has thrown his name in the hat here. So good to see the 777 car of Jordan in here.
Absolutely.
And he's got John McDonald as a carrot just up the road.
Yeah, it is sights. Absolutely.
So who will be the first one over there? I believe the first one over there is going to be Vic Chan. Will be the first of those registered times to come across the line.
And now he's just winding back through into this back section of the circuit.
Yep.
Crazy
turns, Davo, on this track.
Crazy, super technical in some parts of this track, but amazingly fast in others. Like it's interesting track. Not that old. I don't know when this was built, but I probably should have done my research. But a relatively new circuit. So very nice work.
Yeah, so Vic looking to come across with 5 tenths up his sleeve, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, and goes in on a 15,800. So
not as fast as I would have thought. Here we go as Jamie comes around the final turn there as well, and he's up on his time. So
that was John Boy too.
Yeah, he just goes immediately. I would expect would pip him, yes, easily.
John Boy not quite 15.9.
So yeah, this is close. It's the wet weather that equaliser, maybe, J-Man here. Three vastly different cars.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll tell you what, another thing to consider will be about...
Who's carrying weight?
So we have got Vic Chan and Shane carrying the weight. Mudgie's not here tonight, otherwise he would be the guy with 30. So
Uh-huh.
we do have Vic Chan doing a great job on the front row, provisionally just 2.5 tenths shy of the pole position on 20 kilos, and then we have got Shane Vorido down in 7th with 25 kilos. Maybe the Porsche not so much liking all the change of direction here.
Probably not. We've seen him actually slip across the sand trap and into the wall a little bit earlier. He's probably trying to recover from that and get a bit of a bank up. Steve Wilton actually just up in front of him in 6th. Sam Carson in 8th. Steve Melling inside the top 10 as well. J-Man provisionally in 9th. Dave Zero now. Dave Zero in 10th. J-Man, surely he hasn't got that a good lap yet, because he has performed so well this season in that Audi. He's well down there, top 10, but still we've regularly seen him in the top 4.
Yeah, you're right there, and I was just sort of looking and picking up on, we spoke about the points earlier on, and we spoke that Brad Robertson was leading Steve Wilton for the Pro-Am Championship, and only by 3 points. And I can tell you now, they are Liner Stern in 5th and 6th provisionally in the in this qualifying session with 3 minutes 5 seconds to go. So
it's winding down. Jordan
Steve
Moss,
Melling,
sorry to interrupt there. Jordan Moss well up on his time, which could quite almost
takes him to the top.
What?
Yeah, come on.
Wow, I was just calculating it in my head and thinking, he's going to get John.
Ethan Cale can't join the server.
That's a shame. We're going to have to...
Where is Ethan? I need to just try and... Obviously, I'm playing 2 roles here. Got the admin cap on as well.
Of course. Ethan actually in the server, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ethan's in.
Oh, yes.
Circulating.
Okay,
yep.
Okay.
Might have been a bit of an old, little bit of old intel there.
Well, it's only just come through on the stream, so yeah. Anyway, nonetheless, he's in. So
nonetheless, so awesome work, Ethan in as well. But Jordan, look, he's packed it up. He's put it back in the pits. He's going for a cup of tea.
Yeah, come on, boys, beat that.
It's just no problem at all. Vic still out in the Honda. Jamie out as circulating as well in the Ferrari. John McDonald, neither Jamie or John up on their times at the moment.
Just gets a track cut and he's throwing it all away. He did have enough time, but maybe he didn't have enough fuel to go again.
That's a shame, and well up on his time at the time. Brad currently provisionally in 5th. J-Man, which is looking good, but Shane in the Porsche well up on his time at the moment. He's actually just rounding the final corner here, actually. Let's just see where that lands him. That could put him up. There you go. Just pips Brad Robinson, puts the Porsche in 5th. So nice work. 45 seconds to go in qualifying. It looks like he's going to go for another.
Yeah, I can tell you, John McDonald is going to get another go at this. Just starts a lap with 37 seconds to go. And a good exit onto the front straight, already on the positive side of the Delta, so that's good. Vic Chan, very close.
Nice work.
This is Vic's last run on the dice as well. I'm just trying to have a look and see who's coming around, if anyone else is going to beat the clock. Steve Melling is very close to beating the clock. He is actually going to get another one, but he is nearly 5 tenths up on his time. He needs a lot more than that, but he looks like he might pip Sam Carson here.
Oh, he's not going to get another lap.
He's on another lap, mate.
Oh, is he? I've got a delay then.
Yep. No, he's throwing it. Maybe I was just a touch out there, bud.
Yeah, qualifying finished just a couple of seconds before he rolled across the line, but nice work from Steve Melling in the top 10. J-Man in 9th position provisionally at the moment. It doesn't look like he's, apart from Dave Zero, would have any contention for that.
I'm hoping there's enough overrun
Dave
on
Zero's stopped on
the
the
clock
track.
here. Because John Boy is actually up.
John up, Shane also up in the Porsche. I think Shane will come across first, but these two trading times, John McDonald actually, yeah, just starting to sneak up on the Delta a little bit on our screens here.
He needs
Just
about
stick
4
on him.
tenths.
He's actually just winding his way through this final complex of corners. Seriously technical stuff all over the place, the back end of this circuit.
So hard.
It just goes everywhere. All sorts of interesting double apexing, late apexing, early apexing. You name it, you got it. You got a bit of everything in here.
Yeah, I don't think hasn't got enough here. He's almost mirroring his time. It's just not quite there. I think the pressures might have gone away this one. He's going to finish the lap out. And I think you will see definitely Jordan Moss take his first pole of the season, 7 rounds in.
So yeah, nice work, John. Drags it across. Ethan, one more car out on track.
He's a half a second down. He's going to call it.
Yep, he's out. So there you go. Quali over.
Puts it in the wall. Well, there you go, Jordan Moss.
Nice work and a very wet qualifying, J-Man, for this Enduro round 7 here at Circuit of the Americas. If that's anything to go by, it's going to be a long race. Absolutely. Look, we're just going to just pop back to this driver standings board. I'm going to take a quick break and leave you with J-Man. Back in a moment.
Yes, great qualifying from Jordan Moss. Might just take the opportunity just to grab Mossy down here. Mossy, you got comms on us, mate?
Yeah, guys, how's it going?
Hey, mate, congratulations on P1. You waited 7 rounds to do that, mate. What a great quali.
Yeah, something came together tonight, so yeah, pretty happy with that one.
You got that McLaren dialed in by the look of it. I think it looks pretty good through all those change of directions. It's quite nimble.
Yeah, just running a dry setup, but just a safe setup with wet tyres, pretty much.
What's your thoughts for tonight, mate? Do you think that starting from the front, do you think it's going to be critical getting your timing right and when to pit given the weather conditions?
Oh, I think tonight's going to be a bit of a mishmash, and trying to pick the setup and the tyre pressures is going to be the key.
Do you think we're going to see both compounds being used tonight, Jordan?
I think you will stick to wets, to be honest. I think in testing, it doesn't stay dry enough, long enough to really run dries.
Yep. Okay. Oh, well, look, I won't hold you up. 30 seconds to go before we get you rolling around for this formation lap, but congratulations on that pole position. Best of luck for the race, mate.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
User left your channel. User joined your channel. User
there you go.
Out of
so
your
there you
channel.
have it. I just fluffed up who was going back to the race channel. But yeah, there you go. So that was Jordan Moss, your pole position sitter for race round 7. The first of the last 2 Enduros for the season on a 2-minute 15.2. Had a good couple of tenths over the rest of the field. Vic Chan shares the front row with him. Ethan Carl in 3rd. Jamie Koser in 4th. John McDonald, your current points leader, in 5th. What can he do from there? Shane Fodado in the Porsche ends up bringing that car up to P6 after an early altercation with the wall and the gravel trap in that session. Brad Robinson, your current points leader for the Pro-Am Championship, sitting in 7th with the fiercely contested Steve Wilton, who's only 3 points behind him in that category, right behind him. And then the next fella that's only 16 points adrift of the first position in that Pro-Am Championship, Steve Malling, actually got into beating Sam Carson, who was showing some good pace early, but good opportunity here. for those guys to get out and try and get this thing happening early. Like to touch base. Dave Zero brought that car up to P11, so Dave not entirely comfortable with that setup or maybe those conditions right now. So we know Dave races well, so hopefully we see him move forward in the race and get up there and battle with those pro guys. One to talk about too, though, is Lucas Saar, and he put that car in P12, which is ahead of Vaughan Martin and Luke Di Bernardino. So good to see Lucas Saar up there. He is your current championship points leader, with B-Dog in second, back down in 15th, and Bobby Laycock in 17th. Bob looking to make gains while Bear Grylls and Co isn't here tonight. So yeah, plenty to play for here tonight, these guys with this endurance race. 75 minutes, mandatory pit stop here. Fueling is time certain. So the best you'll see out of these guys tonight in the pits will be around that static 25 seconds. You know, if we sort of see a longer stop, you might see a tyre in there, and hell, tonight you may well see a tyre in there with these weather conditions. But as you heard it just before from your pole sitter Jordan Moss, likely just going to run a wet setup unless we see a dramatic change on the weather.
Yeah,
welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, I just come in there as you started talking about strategies and tyres. I just thought, oh God, where do you go? Such a long track and a long race for these guys, and track conditions could change rapidly, couldn't they, with a weather change?
Yeah, sorry, mate. That was just one of those wet cement moments, I think. But,
yeah, there's plenty of them. We're good at that. We're good at that.
But no, we had a good. We interviewed the pole sitter Jordan. Had a good chat to Jordan then, and yeah, it was good.
Awesome.
Good to get an insight from the front row of the grid and how he thinks this thing's going to shake out. So
yeah, nice work from Jordan. Actually, we've seen him shine off and on throughout the series, but that was a bit of a bolt of lightning. Really, wasn't it, J-Man? Neither of us saw that one coming. I'm sure he didn't either. But all good for Jordan Moss, front row of the grid. J-Man, look, this is such a long track. Just this formation lap is taking forever, isn't it?
Oh, it's a big lap when they're flying. So, you know, the fact that they're, you know, that was probably a 3-minute something lap for
Here we
formation.
go. Yep.
Looking for a green?
Looking for a green. Nice formation. They've got plenty of time to form up here at Circuit of the Americas. This is round 7 Asrnz 2022 GT3 Series J-Man. We're just about to go racing.
Green light. Go.
Get a green flag.
Do have a green flag.
Big jump by the Mercedes up the inside. Makes a few positions early.
Yeah, nice work, and a good jump from Ethan, actually, I think it was, on Vic.
Yep.
And passed, and putting pressure on Jordan immediately. Jamie Cossa also taking pressure from John McDonald and Shane in the Porsche. The timing goes wild.
Oh, it does. It goes absolutely nuts at this first stage of the race. It's trying to work out its respective numbers. But yeah, looking like Jordan got a nice clean start. Ethan Cale already having a look up the inside here. Gets a beautiful
Jordan,
move down there.
Yeah, definitely, and made short work of Vic actually into one as well. Vic looks like he wants to go at it as well.
Oh, a little bit of a run wide's going to give that one back. A little bit of contact on the exit.
Here we go. It's
on. Moss gets that back. And that straight line speed of that Honda probably going to come into play here as the Ferrari as well, with incredible straight line speed.
So we've got 2 and 2. Looks like we've got Ethan and Jordan and Jamie and Vic. John McDonald, car
right
5. He's right there as we look out of the front of John McDonald's car.
And Vic Chan's taken that spot back from Jordan up the front there. I see into that.
Yep.
After the big long shoot, he just had enough horsepower going down there. So
Oh, this is very tight, J-Man.
it is.
Through this initial first lap. Big gap. We've got like a good solid top. Looks like 9, 10, rounding out with Steve Melling.
Yeah.
A little bit of a drop.
Lost that position to Sam Carson at the start of that race. So just there's a tag on the back there. And
slippery conditions, J-Man.
yeah.
And some of the boys taking quick advantage of that, but the pressures and the conditions could change any moment. As it looks like Vic Chan heading down the inside on Jordan. Interesting little corner this right at the top of the hill there.
Yeah, very tight in the last piece of that.
Very pointy arrowhead style corner. Strange hairpin.
So the track is currently damp. It's currently damp, and look, 14 degrees ambient with the 19 degrees track. And by my looking, I think the weather's going to actually slightly improve. This rain that's sort of just sprinkling looks like it may get a little less.
Yeah,
So-
just the ambient light looks like it's lightening up a little bit. Looks like the clouds are lifting slightly, but yeah, hard to know. As we just get out of the front of Shane's Porsche, and looks like he's going to have a crack at the Lexus.
I don't think he won't have enough at the end of the shoot here on this Lexus. I'd be surprised if he does.
He's on the right side of it, but hasn't got the punch. The Lexus.
Lexus
look
just
at
got
the
too
graph.
much ponies, mate.
And the BMW of Brad Robinson actually just has a bit of a look.
Beautiful bit of driving for both those guys there. But
Wilson.
Brad Farmer, right up there.
Yep, right up there behind. Just looking for any gain. Is that also Sam Carson in that mid? And like I said, Steve Melling rounding at that top. Right in behind that.
Vic Chan out to the front there. I didn't see that positional change. I knew Ethan was out there. No?
No, we didn't see that positional change actually, unless we may have mixed the cars up.
Possibly.
Yeah, quite easily done.
But Vic, only 1 point adrift. This is exactly what he needs to do right now.
Oh, definitely.
And he's got 3 cars between him and John, so this, it's early days. But this is the sort of the net gain that he needs.
Oh, for sure. Like you said, very early days though. But yeah, just as a game plan to be out front and just having a little bit of control over the race. He's also got his wingman there right behind him with Ethan Cale, so they've got to get through him as well to get to him. So yeah, nice work from the boys there. John McDonald in 5th position, who we're currently talking about. Shane in the Porsche in 6th. The conditions do look a little drier than they were in qualifying and race start. Brad Robinson and Steve Wilson in 8th. Sam Carson in 9th. Steve Melling in 10th. Luke in the Mercedes in 11th.
We've missed something with Dave Zero because he started P11.
10th to 11th.
Yeah, and he's now down into 16th, so I'm not sure what happened there, but he's really struggled with this car tonight.
He's going backwards, unfortunately, as we go. Mike King, 4th, Brednan 15th, Dave 016, like we just mentioned.
I'm thinking Dave Zero started on a slick, and as these conditions get better, look for that car to come alive.
Okay, oh, damn, it looks slippery as he runs up into 1.
Yep.
Oh, no, it's not 1 actually, it's the hairpin onto the back straight.
It was very, very close, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Just on the camera that I was looking at, it looked very similar.
Yeah.
So,
Jordan
yeah,
Moss
interesting
under
call,
massive attack
Jamie.
from Jamie. But he's doing a great job.
And oh, look, Jamie really doesn't have any choice but to attack. He does have John McDonald in the Lexi, which he would be looking to move forward as well. So,
Yep.
I'm sure he'd want to get a car between him Toyota.
But Ethan Carl and Vic Chan in an absolute league of their own now, running 214s and 215.0s. I mean, I hadn't seen a 14 all night. Ethan Carl has just currently run a 14.7. Vic Chan just ran a 15.0. Those guys are just...
John McDonald inside Jordan Moss.
15.0 for John McDonald, so that's a great lap.
Yeah, in traffic pretty well still. And look, Jamie and
Wow, just
John McDonald both passed Jordan Moss. Jordan, look, no slouch and just knows that if they're going to be quicker in this part of the race, he's got to let them go, doesn't he? It's just make it up in the pits, make it up elsewhere in the strategy.
I think we're going to see, this is going to be a really tough night to call, Davo, based on the fact that
I think so.
Get guys that have started with different pressures. Is Vic and Ethan's tyres, were they pressured for a wetter track, and if it dries out, are they going to be in a world of hurt? Is that what's happened to Jordan?
Well, I mean, just look at them now as they come really close together.
Yep.
Ethan right up behind Vic.
Yep.
Are these two guys running different pressures? Will we see one of them, perform different to the other? So.
Yeah, so Ethan, 4/10 up on his best lap, which is a 14.7 last one around. His best record is actually 15.0, so it's obviously a cut on that, but that car has got pace right now, so...
It does.
Was his tyre more suited for a drier track and Vic's wasn't? John will be hoping so.
And here we are, theorising. How many laps in are we? It's just
mate, we're only 3 laps in.
It's awesome.
And the track's gone from damp to greasy.
So it is. We can see it visually that it's backed off a little bit, and the clouds lifting slightly, ever so slightly, but it could easily change.
Oh yes, it could.
And like you said, who was one to watch? Dave Zero.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to watch that Audi come good if this track does develop a little bit more and become a little bit drier. So, watch that space. Jamie looks like he's closing in a little on the two Hondas. Jamie.
Well, Bob's closing in on Dave Zero now, who Dave Zero was battling B-Dog for 15th, and now he's slipped back into Bob again for 16th and 17th, so he's still struggling.
Yeah, look, if your call is correct, J-Man, then it's clearly not working. So, but whatever the reason, and why would he be so far back? Qualified quite well in the Audi, like you said, was it 10th or 11th? So, it's probably a good call that he made, quite possibly on slicks, like you said.
Yeah, so your front four have gone in 2 packs of 2. Jamie looks like he's just not far from tagging on the back of Ethan shortly, and if JB can sort of press on, he'll get up there as well. He's currently 14th up on his best, which is a 14.617. So Jamie,
not too shabby,
with the best lap of the race on a 14.770. John's on a 13.9. Apologies. So that's wow. He's
13.91. Yep.
John Boy in there on a 14.6 is the best of the rest, effectively. So that's interesting.
Yeah, which is still 7/10. Of Jamie's time. So, that's a big gap, big gain.
Farmer's right on the hunt with Brad Robinson as well. He's right there for that Pro-Am Championship battle. He's just the watching brief with Jordan and
for
Brad
sure,
at the moment.
For sure. And like you were saying, it has split up this top pack of cars. It's the 2 for 2. You've got the two Hondas up the front, which are getting extremely close at the moment. As we just flick the cameras onto him, and then we've got Jamie and John Boy right behind, but then we've got the crew, the Shane, Jordan Moss, Brad Robinson, Steve Wilton right behind. That's actually just put Ethan a little bit off. Jamie's been able to range up behind in the Ferrari. It's all it takes. And now John McDonald, look how close that Toyota is up behind the Ferrari now. So the dynamic can change over it's a long lap here, isn't it, J-Man?
Oh, it's a huge lap.
And so much it can change over that lap. And look at them now. They're nearly nose to tail.
So JB was the fastest car in that top four then with the 14.
On that lap. Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. So 14.4, he's right in this.
Yep. So now only half a second behind JB's time there. So.
Yep. So yeah, I'm watching both at the moment. I'm watching Brad working over Jordan, and I'm watching this top four. This top four is hard to peel away from at the moment.
It is a little. We've got a couple of other boys there with Jordan Morris and Brad Robinson, which we might duck back to.
Yep.
Actually, staying in touch nicely with the Porsche of Jamie. As Brad pokes it up just immediately up the inside there in the hairpin to run onto the back straight. Looks like Farmer. Looked like it slowed the two cars down a little bit, so Farmer looks like he might take a slight advantage out of that. But will the BMW hold?
Oh,
on the outside?
It's going to be tough. The BMW has got good brakes.
But no, the McLaren on the inside. Oh, Farmer down the inside.
He's looking for that.
Let's bunch those three cars
So
up.
Ethan Carl is in front, and my leaderboard has updated. He did get that moved up, and Vic Chan is now in second under pressure from Jamie Cota. So John will be loving this right now. There's clearly no team orders at OES.
Clearly not. As we just jump back to that Brad Robinson battle. Yeah, look, the two boys in the Hondas trading positions all the while.
And Ethan Carl to the pits. First year pit stop.
Very difficult to keep up with some of this stuff. And also Steve Wilton into the pits.
Yeah, good call.
So, the shuffle, the big shuffle, J-Man. Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3. Jamie Costa, John McDonald, Ethan Carlin, Shane, Jordan Mott, Brad Robinson, Steve Wilton into the pit. Sam Carson, now not that far behind Brad Robinson. Steve Melling, he's in such clean air, J-Man. Where does he go? He's not battling anyone here.
I can tell you now, I think Ethan Carl is definitely taking tyres, because I watched the time count when he's in, and that was definitely a plus 30-second stop. So
really? And we're still on a greasy track.
Yep. So I don't know. Has he gone and bolted a nice pressured slick on there?
Oh, look. Let's watch this car come out. We'll just try and keep an eye on.
Oh, that's a close battle up the front, isn't it?
Very close battle. Jamie caught up very quickly as Ethan peeled off there before. John McDonald just running the psycho line down the other side of the track.
He's staying out of their vision.
Yeah.
Comes back in at the last minute.
Nice work.
And he's close. He's close. He's
right
there.
And those guys were side by side to the apex there.
Has he got an option here on
a little bit of crossover. Oh, how is that? Is that Lexus? Oh, as we see, Vic
the Lexus
very
looks good.
And Vic very sideways on the exit of that last one.
Oh, he's going to loop it.
Oh, very nearly. Slows both the boys down. It's a procession, J-Man.
So he's in a world of hurt with his tyres.
Now, you did call this.
Yep. These guys doing an amazing job not to make contact. Vic will peel in. John needs to carry on. His tyres are good. He needs to carry on.
Oh, this is epic. Vic's going again. He's stuck in the middle of that little battle there. He's going to suffer here, isn't he? Surely John McDonald, again, as he goes out.
I think he knows. that he needs to stay out, and he'll get this done. Vic's sliding all over the place. That's the guy he's racing. He's just got to be patient here.
Yeah, that's his man, isn't it? That is, like I said, that is the position he needs to chase.
Yep.
Costa in front in the Ferrari, looking solid tonight too, J-Man. That car does not look like it's slipped an inch in these greasy conditions tonight.
No, I think there's still a play to be had here that
Ethan
Kale is called a great call here, because I think
he quite possibly be on
his
a.
tyres weren't good there.
And do you think he quite possibly is on a slick?
I think he's on a correctly pressured slick now. Yep.
What do you think?
Well, you look at the drying line here, and you know.
Yeah, you can see. You can clearly see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Here we
while
go.
your tyres
The
are
gamble.
good, you got to carry on.
You got to. Shane just rolling out of the pit lane now in the Porsche.
Is John going to the left though to keep those tyres cool because he's on a wet?
Quite
he's staying
possibly
off the dry line.
Well, good point.
Is he searching for water? But you know, I feel like he could be.
The car looks solid.
And Dave Zero, just looking who's
He's back into 12th.
Yeah, he's pressed off.
He got Ethan, Shane, Steve Wilton in the pits at least.
Yeah.
So he's got 3 in the pits.
No, he's definitely got. Has he got B-Dog? Yeah, he's got B-Dog. And he's pulled away from Bob Laycock. And he's catching up to Lucas Saar. So he's definitely coming alive. And his last lap time was at 2:18. So no, he's still a long way off.
Still a long way off with Vic Chan now into the pits. J-Man.
Yeah, I'll get a count on that, to see whether he takes tyres.
This was inevitable. We sort of thought it was going to happen the lap before, didn't we, really, mate?
Yep.
But now that leaves Jamie in the Ferrari. Jamie Costa out in front in the quick green Ferrari. And John McDonald behind in the Toyota. And the Toyota's now in a little bit of clean air where he's actually got a push to keep up with the Ferrari and there's less traffic around. It does look a little bit sketchy. It looks like he's pushing a little bit harder to stay in touch with that Ferrari. Yeah, J-Man, well, before in the traffic.
Up, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, nice work from John. Was he chasing that little bit of wet track before as we see him duck across again to the left? And I'd say you're spot on the money there, J-Man. Definitely out there. Jordan Moss also out on the wet side of the track.
Yeah, I think Vic definitely, I think for me, I think he grabbed some tyres.
So Vic Chan back in 10th. We've got Steve Mel and who is it? Lucas Saar. Steve Melling just leaving the pits.
Yep.
Lucas in the pits. Brad Robinson and Sam Carson side by side, J-Man.
Yeah, good stuff.
How about this? Through a seriously technical part of the track. This is like the final little complex of corners, and it just goes on forever. Left, right, left, right. It's crazy, crazy bit of track.
Sam winning that little arm wrestle then.
He did. So the McLaren, no slouch through the twisty bits. They run up towards the final corner here. None of them, neither.
No, they're not going. John Boy and Jamie stay out. 2:14.5s apiece. And Ethan Kale just ran a 2:13.9. And Vic Chan 2:19.2, but that would be his out lap.
Yeah, that's his out lap.
Yep. So, yeah, so Ethan Kale looking to take command of this once the pit stops commence with 13s. Yeah, like that's phenomenal. You know, he's a half a second a lap quicker than those boys. Great timing. Read it. Track's breezy.
Yep.
I can tell you now that in 15 minutes' time, the rain is going to increase. So for my money, I'd want to be staying out for the next 15 minutes, and potentially, if I was going to do a tyre change, I would probably be looking for a pressured wet again.
Another set of wets. Exactly right.
Yeah. And
It's a no-brainer, really, isn't it, mate? But and the drivers are privy to these details that come up on our screen.
yeah, 100% they are. Yeah, and they'll be reading it, and they would have seen that little plus sign come up above the cloud and know that there's potentially more rain in the not too distant future. However, the next 5 minutes look pretty good. So, you know, while guys like Ethan Cale and co are running 13.8s now, and I can tell you that Vic
13.8s.
Vic Chan's actually the 2:19 was his in lap. His out lap was a 3:20, which is about standard, I think. Yeah, it is about standard. Lucas Sars was a 3:20, so that's about standard. I think the best out lap I've seen was Pat's with a he had a 2:29. So hang on, no, that would be just a bad lap. I'm just watching. Who's that? Vic Chan has put up to the back of Bob Laycock. So that will be. I wouldn't think that would be a blue flag because.
No, I don't think Bobby's pitted, has he?
He hasn't pitted, so he's not required to at this point.
A genuine back marker. Well, not really. No, he'd be getting his position, but he'd be getting his lap back, wouldn't he? Yeah.
He's given it away pretty easy though. He hasn't put up a fight there.
Of course not. Ever the gentleman, Bob Laycock.
The John Boy is holding his own with Jamie at the moment. It was 1.2 seconds. Now my last look at the split was 1.5. So he's only lost a couple of tenths there. It actually looks to have crushed a little, so I'll look for the next sector to see what that time reading is, and it is, I should get a sector just coming up here. They've got 5.4 on Jordan Moss, so that sector, what are we looking at? John's searching for water still by the look of it. Yeah, he's definitely still searching for water.
Yeah, well, as you'd expect, so the
1.9.
Track calls greasy, but looks still a little bit of rain coming down. But it's definitely got that drying line, and the boys on the wets will be chasing. Like if there's anybody not on wets, the boys on the wets will definitely be chasing that little bit of cool track. As we just watched Vaughan, Martin, and Luke.
Yeah, I just saw that. Those guys are legitimately
hard out.
Yep.
With Luke up the inside in the Mercedes, the 557 Mercedes. Who else is at it at the moment? I thought I saw Brennan Rolfe and Steve-O having a crack earlier. There they are, both in Aston's. Brennan Rolfe throwing the old 79 round like it's a drift car. Stephen would be hoping to get past that as quick as he possibly can.
Yep. Looking for a switchback here.
Oh yeah, nice tidy work. Little bit of contact. Stephen out on that wet line nicely.
Is that for position?
That is
Steve Mellings.
That is that. Oh. Yeah, well, but they're in order
They
as
are
well.
in order, so he doesn't have to give it
So
up
it's
yet.
not position, but they're still actually in order of position. So
Yeah,
that's
a little
just
bit
weird.
of Aston
That is
supremacy
weird.
going on there.
Yeah, odd stuff going on there.
John just lost another half a second there to Jamie, so John probably succumbing to a little bit of tyre issues here.
Yep. So we're down to 49 minutes, J-Man, to go.
Yep.
It's a long run home still.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, as the longer this goes on, and these guys are running 14.7s, 15.7s, Ethan Carlos now running 13.3s. So getting perilously close to his best. His best is actually a 2 minute 12.3. So that's It's phenomenal times. So Ethan Cale looking to take command of this as he's just trying to round up Dave Zero at the moment, and he's going to do it quite easily by the look of it down here into the left-hander. This is for position, but Dave hasn't pitted yet, so he just takes a wider line, lets it happen. Vic Chan, what's Vic Chan's lap times? So his last lap was a 2:12, but has actually had a cut in it, so his best is actually a 13:6.
Yep.
So at the moment, Vic track along nicely as well to come out and do a good undercut effectively on the likes of John McDonald and Jamie Cota at the moment, possibly too. So those guys, this could come back to them though, given that the late pit stop and the correct tyre choice at the back end of this race might play a better hand. I'd rather be on a good tyre at the end of the race than a good one in the middle.
Yeah, well, look, we just got a bit of vision of John McDonald. We was focused on Jamie Cota Ferrari, and you could see John McDonald so far out on the apron up against the pit wall down the start-finish straight, looking for cold track, looking for that little bit of wet tarmac. And, are those the little gains, even if he's not struggling with his tyre at the moment, like doing that right from the get-go and the whole time.
What are you saying? Look after that tyre and don't change it?
Oh, well, no, not at all. But does that just give him that little bit extra on that tyre, for his stint? So right from the get-go. Brad into the pit.
He's on his way out, mate. And where is Farmer?
Where is Farmer, actually? Just quickly.
He's going to round him up here.
Oh, he's easily going to round him up, actually.
Comfortably, I think. Yep, no problem there.
Oh, his Farmer goes very, very deep. And he's probably watching what was going on there as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Farmer rounds up Brad Robinson. He'll be loving that. Easy position. Farmer, one of the early cars in tonight. J-Man into the pits.
Yeah, followed Jamie. Apologies, Ethan Cale, and at lap 5, which I think at the time was a good call. I just hope that in 5 minutes' time this rain's about to increase. I just wonder what sort of position these guys will be in about another 20 minutes, 45 minutes of this race to go. We could get about halfway home from here. And those guys that pitted early and potentially went on I'm going to say a slick tyre, given the fact that these guys are running 212s and 213s.
That's quick, eh? They've got to be on slick.
That's a slick tyre pace. And the guys that have stayed out and taken their pain.
They're 2 seconds back from that, aren't they?
Yeah. That, and there won't be enough time to pit twice, I wouldn't think. I think even the likes of Ethan and Vic wouldn't be able to come back in and do a quick tyre change.
From a second stop. They won't recover from that.
No. So, this race is going to heat up with about 20 to go, Dave, in my book.
But I suppose, like we just say, that they can't recover from that second stop, as we just see Brad Robinson run a little bit wide there. But given just the weirdest correct weather conditions, it is possible, isn't it? If they just nailed the pit stop at the right time, and went back onto that wet tyre, and you just never know, do you?
No. So Dave Zero currently sitting in P6. A lot of guys behind him pitted. So he's going to have the likes of Shane, Steve Wilton, Bob Laycock. Probably he hasn't stopped. Brad Robinson. So it's still going to shuffle Dave back down. So Dave's car just not in the window tonight, and because we know how good he is, it is carrying some damage by the look of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and that was from well early on in the race, and when we suspected either tyre pressure or choice hasn't been correct, but Yeah, unusual for Dave, isn't it, J-Man?
Yeah. I mean, he's just been all quality all season long. You know, he's had that thing whistling along nicely throughout the season. Vaughan Martin doing a great job as well. He's still got to make his pit stop, but he's currently sitting P3. You know, he is racing Sam Carson and Steve Melling. I'm not sure if he's racing Steve Melling, but he's certainly racing Sam Carson. That'll be interesting as we see. I think it is Ethan Cale about to round Vaughan up. So
Yeah, he was, and I think he was. Vaughan was also racing with Luke before. Was it just a pit stop thing? I don't know.
yeah, I think I think they legitimately were racing.
Yeah.
Oh, Brad Robinson with the drive-through. That is going to be music to Steve Wilton's ears, I can tell you right now, as we see the rain just start to come in a bit heavier, Davo.
Okay, here's where it all changes up. And look, we were following. I don't think it was actually Brad Robinson's car. It was a car, either to or fro of it. And I did see Brad run wide on quite a few corners there.
Do you think it's a track limit thing? Must be.
I would suspect so. Yeah.
Oh, so anyway,
that's tough. Drive through penalty.
Yeah, he just wants to make sure that he doesn't speed at this point in time.
Yeah, you want to keep it pretty clean there. Still a long way to go in the lap, more than half the lap to go before he gets into the pit lane. Yep. John McDonald just rounding up. I think that is Luke
Bernardino. Yep.
Di Bernardino.
Bernardino. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So he's 4 odd seconds behind Jamie now. Vic Chan with the fastest lap of the race now, which I can tell you was a 2-minute 12.3. So without a doubt in my mind that those guys are on a slick tyre.
Very nicely pressured slick to be running in these conditions, Jamie.
Yeah, and with more rain coming.
Yeah.
It's going to get interesting. I think, you know, how much heat can they...
This is going to be the difference between a two and a single pit stop race, isn't it? That's where the battle is at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Because like the guys like Jamie and John McDonald, and they're only going for a single stop. They're running those wet tyres all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's close. Are those guys making enough of a gain to stay in front? Vic Chan, John McDonald, who I think we got on screen at the moment, leading the championship, like J-Man alluded to, informed us, before we went to race. This guy has not been on the podium.
No. And so tell me something. With 5 seconds the gap between Jamie Coaster and John McDonald, he's not racing Jamie, he's racing Vic Chan.
He's racing Vic Chan.
Who's some way down the thing. Does John leave the wets on, right, that he's got on?
For sure. Oh,
let them cool down in the pit stop and go out, and do they come back good with the wet track?
Really?
And he buys himself 5 seconds. Is that what's the strat?
Is that doable?
I think it's doable, but I don't drive a race car.
Yeah. It's too comfy up here, isn't it?
It's way too comfy.
Yeah. Look, it's pouring down rain out there. So, yeah, look, let's watch this space. I'm like, damn. And look, John being very conservative. Luke, he hasn't been able to shake Luke's Mercedes. The Mercedes very punchy down the straight.
Yeah.
And it's been able to stay in touch as they circulate through this little twisty bit of the final complex of corners. But yeah, interesting to watch the strategies. Who's close? Dave 0, Steve Wilton. Here we go. Watch this space.
Oh yeah, they're real close.
Wilton passed.
Yeah.
Down into that fast little bloody sweeper, left-hand sweeper before the Turn onto the back straight there, J-Man. Nice work from Steve.
So Brad Robinson clearing that drive-through and on his way out has actually lost the position also to Steve Melling, Lucas Di Berardino,
Yep.
Sam Carson. You know, I'm talking about the guys that have made these stops. So,
Yep.
you know, it was 16 points. The difference was up the road to for Steve-O to make it to Brad. It was only 3 points for Farmer, and I tell you what, Farmer sitting in 7th position, and Brad all the way down in 15th. This is a massive swing in the Pro-Am Championship,
Isn't it?
huge. Yeah.
Back, remember, Enduro's viewers, so we got double points on offer here. So the boys, these positions are critical, especially at this end of the series, J-Man. One more race after tonight. So
I'm just watching Luke Berardino just trying to take that position back off of John on a wailing wet tyre as we reach halfway through this race. You know, is it wet enough now for John to go and do this pit stop and try and press on?
is it?
You know, I don't know. You know, he's out there. He's currently pressing.
How hard can? There's no blue flags here, is there?
No. There's no blue flags. No.
These are the genuine positions. One has pitted, one hasn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but you bet to expect John's tyre to come back into phase here. We've already seen the times that were 2:12s of Ethan Carl and Vic Chan already slip up into the 15s and 14s. So they've lost a couple of
John
seconds.
McDonald in.
John McDonald's in the pit lane. Gets it in there, nice and tidy stop. Make sure he doesn't
very
speed.
tidy stop.
Beautiful stop. So I'm going to run the counter on this. If it's 25 seconds, he's on the same rubber. If it's 30, he's got some new wets on, I would think. So what does he do?
We'll go to Vic Chan.
Copy.
So Vic Chan again circulating around that, like we have been mentioning all night. It's seriously complex series of corners, this back section of the track here. Weird on camber, off camber section as Vic runs around, heads up towards the final corner. Where is John McDonald? J-Man off the jack.
There's a tyre on this. He's definitely putting a tyre on. Yeah, there was definitely a tyre go on there.
So
Definitely
Vic Chan
a tyre.
runs up into T1. John McDonald still exiting the pit lane. Who's going to come past him? Ethan Cale. Oh, Jamie. No, Ethan. No.
So John gets out. Does he get out in front of Shane? No, he doesn't. But no panic here from John, because John, I believe, has got the right tyre on at the right time. As we see, the weather is increasingly getting worse. That dry line is going to start to fade, and that brand new wet tyre, which I believe he would have put on, will come into its own very, very quickly here.
Yeah.
So
34, more than 34 minutes to go.
yeah.
It's still a long time, J-Man.
Yeah, this could be a master stroke here from I'm going to say Jamie Koser and John McDonald here. And watch, you know, we're obviously still half an hour out from the end of this race, but you know, if this plays out the way that the weather's looking and this track gets wetter and wetter,
yeah, Jamie's.
Those guys will be in a good spot
for sure. Jamie stays out again, J-Man.
Yeah, ran a 16.9 the last lap, just ran a 17.8, so well down on the pace, but even the likes of Vic Chan and Ethan Carl are only 16.4s and 14.0s, so...
And it's all about the timing, isn't it, mate, with the weather conditions, really, isn't it?
Well, those times are only going to get worse for those boys, mate.
Yeah.
On, you know, if they are on a slick tyre, which I believe they are, they're not going to get any better in these conditions.
Yeah. So there we go, viewers. Tense stuff. Oh, look, I don't understand half of this stuff. That's why
I'm confused myself.
That's why I got David. But yeah, look, all I know is it's tense and it is. It's all over the place. So definitely exciting stuff to watch. Jamie, Cota, let's run through the grid, J-Man.
Yeah,
Number one.
Jamie Cota out in front still without pit stopping. He's got Ethan Cale behind him, and then followed by Vic Chan, Shane Fodado, John McDonald, Vaughan Martin, Steve Wilton, a unpitted Dave Zero in there on P8, Steve Melling P9, Bob Laycock P10, Sam Carson 11th. Sam Carson 11th? Yes, Brendan Rolfe unpit stopped in 12th. Luke Di Berardino, he is in 13th, and then Lucas Saar, Brad Robertson, Pats, Mike King, and Brad Robertson, sorry, and then Mike King, and it looks like Jordan Moss might have retired. Has he retired? No, he's still out there. He is 4 laps
Jordan's
down.
out there.
Yeah, he's quite some laps down. So and he hasn't pit stopped yet either. So it's he might have parked that thing up and gone to the toilet and had a moment.
I think Mike's out. I think this week. That's
Okay.
bugging out your board there, mate.
Yep. As,
Okay.
Steve Wilton to the pit. Why is Steve Wilton back to the pits? That is an unscheduled stop. Is he decided to go for a tyre?
Is it a tyre thing? Yeah.
It could be a tyre thing. I'm confused.
So now he's currently in 9.
And he's just hit the wall in the pit lane. So he's looking at something.
He's adjusting the camera or wheel alignment or something going on.
I'll tell you what, this is exactly what Brad Robinson wanted to see. So, what has gone on there? Has he come out in front of Brad? Yes, he has.
He has. Brad's way round the back.
Yeah, he is. He's a long way back. Ethan Cale in the lane. These guys are going for tyres, pal. Ethan Cale.
No, well, we suspected this. They would have to go
Shannon.
back to a wet tyre, wouldn't they?
You can't tell me that these guys can stop twice and still do the business.
Well, we're going to soon find out, aren't we?
Where is John McDonald? No, because John McDonald is just coming up past pit lane. So, John McDonald.
That's the master stroke.
I'm telling you, he called it. Because they are sitting in pit lane and he is on his way.
Yep. That's only the first of it. So both of them.
Shane
Sitting
in the pit
there.
lane.
Shane in as
Paul
well.
Martin in. Well, there you go. There you go.
Jamie's still out.
So,
But Jamie Sir is still out. No pit stop. Vaughan Martin, no pit stop. Dave Zero, no pit stop. Bob Laycock and Brendan Rolfe, no, none either. Oh,
so Jamie Cota, I think he's been running 2:17s. John's been running 2:15s.
yep.
He was 5.7 seconds when he came to the lane. How much time has he made up? This is going to be real tight between Jamie and John McDonald.
Yep. Jamie
And
in.
then-
Jamie in.
Jamie in. Okay.
Here we go. 29 and a half minutes to go in the race. A lot of guys in, and we expect they're going. Dave Zero's in. Looks like Jordan Moss in as well. We saw Shane in and the two Hondas, but who are we watching? McDonald.
This is going to bump Dave Zero up. With all these guys stopping, this is Dave Zero's first stop. This is brilliant for Dave.
Yeah, and Jamie. Like these guys.
Yeah.
And this is, again, like John's came in a little bit earlier than these boys, but it's not much. So these are the guys that are going to make the gain, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I
the
think
track's gone damp, so...
Jamie off the jacks and rolling out. John Boy is approaching
coming.
the final sector now.
Yeah, not quite there. So Jamie will come out in front of him.
But he's coming out in traffic too.
And it's not who he's, like, you keep reminding us, that's not who he's fighting.
Yeah.
It's Vic that he needs to,
And
needs to
John's
chase.
going to round him up anyway, I feel. It's going to
Jamie.
be really close. Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be close.
He gets him.
He does get him.
Wow.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Right. So, yeah, go on, you first.
Yeah. Well, I want to know what the margin is between John McDonald and Ethan Carl and Vic Chan.
Well,
I've called it all night long. John Boy's racing Vic Chan. And what is the margin? He's got 1.3 over Ethan Cale, and then, over Jamie Coaster, and then Ethan Cale is, what is he behind? I cannot even get a read. Vic Chan's 8.4 seconds behind Ethan. I can't even get a read on.
I don't think they've done enough. They haven't done enough lap yet.
No.
It's still coming around. Here we go. It's coming up now.
So just under half an hour to go, and so he's 37 seconds behind Jamie Kosa. So
yeah,
you know, in 27 minutes, can Jamie?
That's
can
a,
Ethan?
That's
can
a
Ethan
big
Cale,
chunk of time, isn't it?
Can he make 1.3 seconds a lap for the next 27 minutes?
Yeah,
that's the question. I don't know. Master stroke here from the Marmite car. I think he's, I talked to this guy earlier in the week.
Track.
He's very, very busy with his business, his young family, and the fire service and everything he does outside of racing. He's a great guy, John McDonald. He gives a lot of his own personal time, A, to us that are here at Asrnz, and B, to the community where he lives. And man, to come out here with very little or no practice and call us, it just shows us this is why he's leading the championship without making a podium, Davo.
That's right. Epic stuff. Nice work from John.
Steve Wilton. Brad Robinson, did he come back in? Because he's back down in 15th and Farmer's up in 7th. Steve Mellings in 12th. Trying to catch up here, viewers.
So we just had a quick replay there, as I don't think J-Man spotted it, but
Sorry.
yeah, just a little quick replay of Jamie in the Ferrari just running fairly deep into one of the corners at the back section of the circuit and losing a little bit of time. So not doing his chase any good as he heads towards John McDonald. Who are we on now? Ethan Cale in the Honda. Very slippery. Both that and it looks like Big Tan's car off the final corner there, J-Man.
Yeah. Wow.
It's on, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, John doesn't have to. I'm just looking up the road. 3.5 seconds back now to Jamie Kosa.
Yeah.
After that little bit of a run wide.
Yep.
I feel like JB doesn't have to do too much. He's just got to just hit his marks and
do what he did. Do what he's done the whole
season.
Yeah. Oh well, this whole race at least. You know, like where he's just been looking after the tyre.
Yep.
Running to a time. So.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff to watch.
Yep. And Steve Wilton, Sam Carson back to the pits. So Sam Carson to the pits. Brendan Rolfe hasn't taken his official stop yet, so that's going to push Wilton up another position, I think. Is it? Yeah, possibly it is. Oh, I think it already has. Yeah, no, it already had.
Wilton and sixth.
Wilton and Brendan Rolfe come together there.
Oh, so
I don't know
Wilton
what that is all about. Because Brendan Rolfe hasn't pit stopped yet. That's a shocker.
Oh, look, the boys are going to pick it up on the replay here, J-Man.
Yeah.
You decide for yourself, viewers. What's going on? The boys race with passion. Obviously, everyone's out there to win. Oh, very slippery out there. Looked like a bit understeer from the Wheat Bicky car. Brennan really leaving plenty of space. But there you go. Your decision, viewers.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. You know, in the context of one car pit stop, the other hadn't. You know.
Yeah.
Technically, it is for position still. So
Gets a bit messy sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, play on. Brendan carried on, so all good.
As we pick up back, we might just touch base back with Jamie Gusser, who is now
Only
raging.
a couple of seconds behind now.
Yeah. So
That thing
he's
coming alive.
Yeah, he's pulled that back really quickly, J-Man. So
Yeah.
I'd expect to see that Ferrari back in front. I don't think John McDonald will resist that Ferrari either. You know, like he'll.
Well, technically, he doesn't have to fight it because it's not where his race is. So, if anything, he could tag on the back of that and just press on. And you know, he's still got effectively 1.2 to Jamie. I think there's probably still 34 seconds or something like that back to Ethan. And then another 10 plus back to Vic. So, given the fact that that's where his race is, you know, he's doing a great job. Where is Steve Melling? As Brendan Rolfe is now in the pits. So that is the final pit stopper for the night. Well, the final official pit stop. We don't know.
Yes.
He might come back in yet.
Well, we've seen a few come back in a few times already as well. So
yeah.
Dave Zero, Luke De Berardino.
Sam Carson
hard at it.
Brad Robertson still in P15, but guess what? Guess who's in front of him? Steve Wilton is in front of him on track. What is going on here? Because my timing is showing Wilton in 6th.
Yeah, same.
Is he a lap down?
Who?
Brendan Rolfe has been disqualified.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Why?
I have no idea. But anyway, he got inside with still 9 minutes. There was still 9 odd minutes to go. A pit stop window open, so yeah, I'm not sure he's done something to offend the officials. But I'm just trying to pick up on what's going on with Steve Wilton. Is Steve Wilton a lap ahead?
Oh, John McDonald goes around.
That is not what he needed to do right now.
Not at all.
Did he do it on his own, or what was the story?
We're going to get back to a replay, I think the boys say. Here we go. Jamie in the Ferrari. Goes the outside. This is the left hand in the... Yes! Oh!
Just cooked it.
Messi. John.
Yep. So that puts him 6.8 behind Jamie Cota now. Now, what's the margin? He's probably in the 27-second category back to Ethan Cale now, I think. Once we get a read, 28 seconds back to Ethan. So still fine with 19 and a half minutes to go, permitting he doesn't do too much of that stuff. Because remembering that it's actually Vic's another 11, so he's still got 39 seconds back to Vic. So
39 seconds with 19 and a half minutes.
Yeah, he's still safe, but he's just got to just tone it down and do his thing. How's Shane getting on? He's had a relatively quiet night by his standards and ours as far as Shane's concerned, because he's normally in the mix. He had a great battle with Mark Mudgeway at Alton Park the other week.
Yeah, and just in a bit of clean air tonight, J-Man, which is unusual, isn't it? Because, like you're saying, he's usually right in the mix of it. So
Brad Robertson looking to put a pass here on Steve Wilton, but I don't think Steve will fight this because I think he's clearly a lap down.
Well, he's had 2 pit stops, so he's surely a lap down. But again,
He's 2 laps down.
we see but we see these 2 guys again together. You know, like the pace is pretty close.
Yep.
And again, nose to tail.
Props to Dave 02 for working his way up to P7 here. You know, we thought he was in a world of hurt for the first half an hour, 40 minutes of this race. And
yeah, definitely.
He's back up there, so props to Dave for being patient or sticking to a plan. If that was the plan, I'm sure it looked bloody optimistic at one point.
But look where he is. He's actually made gains. He's played a long game, although.
Steve Melling with a beautiful pass on Vaughan Martin just then.
Let's see the boys. Come on, we hit the rewind, boys, on that one. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find it.
Yeah, it was just there.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, he is a solid top 10, I think, Daniel. I think he'll be okay, mate. He's sitting currently P7, so looking good. As we go to this replay, watch Steve-O set up Vaughan Martin here through the infield in the back sector. Looks for an over-under. Wider entry, narrow in the middle. Yeah, beautiful piece of driving there. Vaughan a little bit slippery on the exit, so maybe those tyres of Vaughan's not quite in the right pressure phase as we see Steve Melling just really focus quickly on the back. Berardino, and that is for position 2. So Steve Melling can get himself up into P8, and Brad Robertson is down in P14. And that bodes well for his championship as well. Just having a look at the McDonald's, now 9 seconds behind Jamie Cota with 16, just under 17 minutes to go. Still got a good margin on Ethan Cale. Where is Ethan on track right now? He's just rounding up the final turn, so we're just about to get an idea about what that margin was. It was 28 seconds the last time we looked, and it is now 20. No, too far back. Not even going to tell us.
There you go.
I think if I press this button over here and press this button here, I can tell you now he is. Live timing says that he is. I won't even do it there, the bastard. He's 27.8, so there's only not even a second difference changed in that last 5 minutes. So not much to see there, guys. I think, you know, Jamie, I got to say, Jamie doing a great job. He held his nerve in that phase of the race. John Boy came out with the 1 pit stop. So did Jamie. Jamie's was a massive overcut that didn't quite play into the hands, and John Boy got him. But yeah, after that spin, just shy of 10 seconds now, I think it'll be all Jamie's to lose here, and John Boy can comfortably grab this second position. And given that there's 2 places between him and Vic, that will serve
currently
him well.
Yes.
Yep.
That could change.
Always.
We've still got about 15 minutes to go. Anything can happen. We're just looking at, I think, the front of it's Steve Weldon's car.
Yeah, chasing down the Brad Robertson car again.
Yeah, some pretty nice vision there. A lot of spray. A lot of body language from both the cars, actually. Steve's and Brad's. They just drop into this. Here we go.
Yep.
Oh, who's got the grunt? Joe, man. It's a drag race.
It is a drag race. I'd say the BMW will be okay here.
Yeah.
I'd just let the viewers know that Steve Melling did get that position of Luke Di Berardino. He did take that position, so Steve Melling currently sitting P8 as we see Brad Robertson wiggling massively under brakes down there, so maybe a little bit of rear ballast going on there, but that thing pinched the rears pretty hard.
These are the 2 corners I've seen him do it on earlier in the race before he got the drive through, so
and just allows Farmer to round him up there.
Easily. And so, yeah, watch himself here. Just. And look, he's gone a little bit gun-shy there. Backdrawn off, hasn't he? So, okay. And to be expected too. We're pretty sure he got a drive-through earlier in the race. Quite possibly from, overstating himself on the track cards. As they round the final corner, looking very, very slippery at the moment. J-Man gone to adapt track. And definitely showing it in the body language of the cars.
Yeah, so the best looking car for me at the moment
Yes.
on a wet tyre in these conditions is Jamie Cota running 2:15.
Jamie, that thing just looks solid all night, mate.
You know, and the best of the rest is Ethan and John Boy and Vic running 2:17s. Dave Zero just poking his nose into the 2:17s the last lap around, which is a good effort because that's a good second ahead of Farmer, and that obviously Farmer's a good I think he was about 14 or 15 seconds up the road. Steve Melling's plus 15 off of Dave Zero, so no threat there. But yeah, real shake up in the championship tonight with the stuff going on, and actually Dave Zero at the moment is posting a delta that's looking a good anywhere between 3 and 5 tenths faster than what he's done. So that car coming alive in the wet. So clearly Dave Zero, I think his mindset was all about the rain tonight, and that phase when everyone was going fast in dry and track conditions, his car wasn't there.
But now, look at it.
Yeah, it's coming alive now.
Yep. So, yeah, nice work. As we see the pit window close, J-Man, and we move into this final phase, the final stages of the race. It's like a little over 10 minutes to go. Jamie really dominating in the fro. Fro's looks solid. When you call solid, you say, Jamie's looking really solid, and you just go straight to the times. Okay, it's looking really solid, but I'm watching the car. You're looking at the times, I'm watching the car.
Got Delta that's telling me, I guess, what you're watching.
Yeah, but that's where it is, mate. You can see it, you can read it in the times, you can see it in the body language of the car, and it's looked solid all night. Doesn't matter what the condition of the track. We've seen a couple of the boys to and fro, haven't we, with the dry lines and such, and tyre choice. So nice. John McDonald in second position. Look, master stroke, he is in second position. Podium, and look, if he pulls this off too, J-Man, first podium.
Well, it's the first time we get to talk to him in 7 weeks, mate.
So, nice work. Let's just not put the mocker on him. Let's see how he goes there, but could have made quite the right decision there. Ethan Kale behind him in third position. First of the Hondas, the 552 Honda. Nice work. Vic Chan in the 555 Honda, well back from him. Shane in the Porsche. We just see him slip past the number 46 Pats.
Yeah, Francesco.
Car. So nice work, and Farmer in sixth position.
Yeah, Farmer doing a great job, given that Brad Robinson's all the way back down in 14th. So yeah, definitely a really good night for Farmer. This will see him provisionally take charge of that Pro-Am leaderboard.
Yeah.
He was 3 points the difference. He will clearly have enough to, if it finishes it like this, to climb up there and give him some real incentive to put some effort in for the final round. And I mean, those who are mathematically in any equation here, whether it be top 5 or top 10 in their respective categories, this should be the one. And I put the call out to anybody else that is available for this final round coming up. Come and put your car in there and be, play a factor in this championship, because there's guys in here that are racing that want you to be there based on the fact that you could be the number car between them and the next one.
Interrupt them.
Yeah, could help them or actually not help them, but it's all good for us.
Yeah, look, it is. It's absolutely. And come on, give it a crack, guys. Look, there's heaps. We know there's a whole bunch of guys that aren't able to make it for one reason or another. But yeah, get on board if you can. So yeah, good gain from Steve Wilton, aka Farmer, J-Man, borderline pro-am
Part-time.
guy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like when he's performing, he's definitely performing. So nice work from Steve Wilton. We're still going through this list. Dave Zero. Now we talked about Dave throughout the series and also tonight. The car looks a little bit busted up and didn't quite show the pace we thought it would in the early parts of the race. J-Man, you would agree?
Yeah, no, it didn't, and like I think it was probably a setup call and a strategy call because we know how good Dave is. You know, he came out this season firing. As I just watching Farmer just rounded up Francesco there, I was just hoping that there was no contact there, so there wasn't. It was all good.
Nice,
but yeah,
nice.
Dave Zero, you know, he's as noted by his brother. You know, it was really, honestly, it was the running long and making one pit stop when everybody else made two to play him back in, and then he played the long game, and he's clearly on a wet tyre because, you know, last lap round he was a 219, you know, plays Farmers 218, but not a lot in it, and that car was clearly set up for the wet, not the dry.
Yeah.
And as we see, this track is wet, and in the next 15 minutes, which won't matter because there's only 7 minutes to go, is going to dry out. But
for sure.
It'll be a little too late.
Okay, so next on the list, Steve Melling.
Yeah. Solid effort.
So just like solid mid-pack performance all night. Really haven't seen him in much of a battle. A little bit of a tussle here and there, but you know, racing in clear air now. J-Man, good solid performance.
Yeah. And to give you an idea, you know, he's done nothing wrong. He's gone out there and he's just absolutely hit his numbers. He's currently going around on about a 219, 218 at best at the moment in these conditions. And to give you an idea about how quick the front boys are, Jamie Cota and John McDonald, he would likely be as far as they get as far as lapping the field, but that's how far up those guys have come, is nearly up to 8.
As we see Jamie in the Ferrari actually loom up behind Steve Melling right now. Number
Luke
9.
Di Bernardino, yep. So he's in P9.
Yep.
So great first race back for Luke. If he can bring home this top 10.
He's doing okay. He's mixed it with a few boys tonight too, up and down the field because of pit stops or whatever. And like he was battling there with John McDonald there, you know, like for a big chunk of the race. So.
Yep. And Vaughan Martin is the next in the list, and we saw him having some good battles with Steve Melling and co. As he just lets I think that might have been the Ethan Cale car through.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it is.
Still can't work them out.
Yeah. Hang on.
No, it's not. No, it's the Vic Chan car.
Sorry, it's the Vic Chan car. Yeah, so actually just as we speak, John McDonald's halved that gap down to Jamie in the final moments. He's brought that down to 6 seconds by my calculation from which was nearly 11. Yeah.
Still a long way away.
Yeah.
With 5 minutes to go.
Bobby Laycock was the next car after Vaughan Martin. Solid job in P11. Saw Bobby stay out a bit and get a good strategy going, so that was good for Bob. And you know, he's the first runner of your Pro-Ams tonight, so you know, we talked about Lucas Saar leading the championship. We talked about Bob being able to cement that third position in that Pro-Am category. I'll tell you what, if he brings this home in front of Sam Carson, Brad Robertson and Lucas Saar.
And Lucas Saar, mate.
We might see a big shift.
Yeah. And you're talking about turning up next week, like you said a few minutes ago. If he's turning up next week, it's on. It's on for the series.
Yep.
So there you go, top 11, ladies and gentlemen. We're winding it down. We've got 4 minutes to go. J-Man, got a couple more there to go. Who we got? Yep. Brad Robinson.
Yeah, Sam Carson.
Sam Carson.
Yeah, he's just getting rounded up as we speak by Shane.
in a
And-
pretty busted looking McLaren at the
McLaren,
moment. It's
yeah,
not
it
looking
is.
very slippery, that thing. Looks like it's catching a bit of wind.
Yeah, so Sam doing a good job in P12 here.
Yep, tough race. He's
yep.
been mixing it with he hung with in that top 10
He
for
did.
quite a while, actually, in the early quarter of the race, didn't he, Jamie?
No, he did. And then next guy on the list is Brad Robinson, who is just going to rue the drive-through because that was the start of all his problems tonight. And you know, I don't know what caused that. Whether that was, I believe that was probably track cut limits.
Oh,
track
you'd think
limits,
so. You'd think so.
because he looked racy. He looked like, you know, he was going with Farmer at the start of that one, and you know, potentially looking at the back of some of the top boys. So yeah, tough night for Brad, but you know, look, he's still out there circulating with 3 minutes to go.
Yep, and we love that.
Yep.
Stay in there.
Lucas Saar is the next on the list. He's just been rounded up by the Castrol Supra.
The Castrol Supra, yes, he has. And Lucas, quite often his car is just very, very tidy. Not tonight.
No, not tonight, mate.
It's another busted looking clamshell, that old McLaren. But still, again, J-Man sticking it out.
Yep.
Never back down, never stayed down. Francisco.
Yep. So this is Pat's. So
This is Pat's.
Yeah. So he's out there in P15, battling away, mate. So he's doing his thing.
Staying out of trouble. Nicely done. Mike King is Jordan Moss in 16th.
Yeah. So
J-Man.
Jordan was our pole
3
sitter.
laps.
So when it basically, you know, shows you that, you know, he had that thing on the dime at the front end of this race, and you know, and he held his own through the first lap, and then went back with a little bit, and then I don't know, changeable conditions, maybe didn't quite get the tyres right. He did talk in the driver interview in the when he took pole
Pre-race,
about, pre-race about just going wet, and for all money, I would have thought that might have worked for him. Maybe he went for a dry in the middle and then had to go for a second stop and just got it wrong. But
we might try and catch a bit of a bloody chat with him later on.
And a couple of retirements in there with Mike King and Brendan Rolfe. So Brendan Rolfe got disqualified. I'm not sure what happened there, what the story was, because we don't see that a lot. But
no, we don't. Definitely not. So it'd be interesting to catch up on that. Here we go. The leader is on the final lap now. That leader is
Jamie Cota.
In the
5.5
Green Ferrari.
seconds ahead of P2 John McDonald.
We knew that green thing was quicker than last week's car.
Yeah, we knew that paint job was definitely had a winning formula to it. Bottle that stuff and keep it.
So very slippery. The thing, just like we talked about just earlier, you know, we say this car has just been looking so solid all night. J-Man goes straight to his stats, goes, yes, the timing looks fantastic. I look on track, go, mate, it handles like a beauty. And that is the reality of it. This car, not always in the position it's been in this race, but at the end of the night, that's when it counts. This is the lap that counts, J-Man. And here he goes.
Jamie did round up Stevo, so that car has lapped all the way up to P8.
There you go.
And I mean, you know, 75-minute race. Yeah, it is an enduro. There was a couple of stops involved and stuff, but that still shows the pace.
That's tidy stuff
that he's got. To lap that far up the field.
Yeah, no, that's pretty well known. 0 mistakes from Jamie tonight. And if you look way back distance there, I think it's John
Yeah, he slipped out to another 6.2 seconds out or something now, so I think he's conceded. Didn't really have to think, you know, he knew where his race was.
Absolutely, and a fair chunk back before you see Ethan Kyle and Vic Chan in the Honda.
Who've proven all season long that they are the guys to beat.
Oh, absolutely, but tonight, not so, J-Man, as we watch Jamie come down to the final couple of corners here.
Yep. Rounds it out as he comes past pit entry.
in the Ferrari green, a super fast Ferrari green.
Yeah, it works for that car, that colour scheme for sure. As he comes over, gives the pit crew a
Beautiful work.
wave.
Nice work from Jamie.
Yeah, good stuff.
Steve Melling, a lap down, follows him over.
Yep.
John McDonald in second, J-Man. These guys, what a battle between these two guys. Like, fantastic.
Yeah,
Battle between them.
brilliant
Strategic
racing.
battle between those two guys tonight.
Yeah, they got the strategy right for sure.
For sure. As we see Ethan Kale round the final corner. Mate, what an epic race. Look, there's no way you could have called that in the first 10 minutes, eh? There's just no way.
No, 100%. And Vic Chan rounds out the final corner to bring home P4. So much pace in the drying conditions, but just got away from having to make that second stop. Just really cost him and Ethan there. Absolutely.
Shane in the Porsche. Probably not the nicest track for the old V-dub in this sort of conditions tonight, J-Man. But yeah, look, just again, never say never, and just keeps going.
Yeah. So good bank of points there for Shane though. Yeah, definitely. Definitely still in there.
Yeah, nice work. Slides that Porsche around the final corner as you see all the boys up the top there in T1.
So Farmer actually wasn't that far behind him in the end.
So, no, Farmer, a little bit of a standout tonight.
Yep.
He really has shone nicely. We've got, I think, a couple of back markers just behind him there.
So there you have it. The official results are Jamie Cota in first, John McDonald in second, Ethan Cowell in third, Vic Chan in fourth. Holds the fastest lap of the race too, I might add, at a 2-minute 12.3. And then we go to Shane Fodderdo, Steve Wilton, Dave Zero, Steve Melling, Lucas Di Bernardino, Bob Laycock gets a top 10. Is that, am I seeing, no, hang on. Am I seeing that right? Is that really?
Dave Zero in 7th.
Sorry, Dave Zero, sorry. In 7th,
Bobby Laycock in 10th.
Bob Laycock in 10th. That's 10th position. Great result.
Nice AM driver to the top, mate.
Yeah, Vaughan Martin 11th, Sam Carson 12th, Brad Robertson 13th, Lucas 14th, Patson 15th, Jordan Moss 16th, Mike King and Brendan Rolfe. I'm not sure, plus 22 laps. I don't think they'll be qualified.
I don't know whether that's working there, J-Man, but nice point hit for Bobby Laycock. Let's get into the hot box, J-Man.
We'll go and grab Vic now. So first of the podium interviews tonight, and P3 is Vic Chan. You got us on comms, Vic?
Is it Vic?
Pretty sure it would be. You got us on comms, Vic.
I thought it was Ethan.
Is it Ethan? Okay, hang on.
User was moved out of your channel.
Sure? No, Jamie. Hang on. Oh, sorry, it's Ethan Cale. Sorry. Oh, got that wrong. Wrong name. Sorry. Ethan. Sorry, grabbed the wrong guy, mate.
Wrong Honda.
Yeah, wrong Honda. You got us on comms, Ethan?
Is it working this week?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I just grabbed you. Your teamie was actually fourth, and yeah, mate. Sorry, pal.
We dragged him down. He wouldn't speak.
He wouldn't speak. He was disgusted. Hey, mate. Hey, congratulations on a P3 on what appeared to be a pretty challenging night. And then tell me a little bit about the two-stop. Was that planned or not?
No. Someone goes left, we go left, someone else will go right, and one of you is going to get it right. And throughout the entire week of practice, we didn't see the rain disappear and then come back. So as soon as I saw it go away, made sure to make the most of it, and which I did.
Yep.
And then it came back, and the two that went right got it right. So there's not much else you can really do about it.
Very, very impressive at the mid-sector, though, there when we had a drying track, mate. Those 2-minute 12s 212s. It's
Yeah.
just it's that's you're running 212s and the guys are running 215s, 216s, and
and higher.
yeah, and higher. And we've got to sit here and play guess who. And I tell you what, it was a pretty tricky one to call. But obviously everything filtered out when you guys started peeling into pits. But nonetheless, the start of that race, mate, was pretty impressive. The battling between you and Vic was awesome to watch. High stakes stuff in those conditions. And yeah, mate, that must have been a good race to be in.
Yeah, for sure. The start was quite intense. We're all, top 8 was all within a couple of seconds. So, yeah, it's just good to be racing again. Just a shame that didn't get that strategy right, because I reckon I would have nailed it if the rain didn't end up coming back. So,
yeah. Well, there was no one in that same pace category as you and Vic there. It was clearly I looked down at one point and it was just like shit. There's just no one even in the same postcode, mate. So hey, look, that's the way sometimes it goes, and it's a rub of the green stuff, and but you're still in it, you're still in this thing. So congrats on the 3. It's always a good night when you make the podium here.
Yeah, it's nice too, and I ended up with 3 track limit warnings in 20 minutes or something. So the rest of the race, I was just trying not to run wide or go off or cut the track. Otherwise, that was a drive through. And yeah, really just wanted to give Vic the best chance next week. I've already spoken to him about it, and we've kind of had a chat about it too, because I don't think I'll win the championship from here after having 3 DNFs or 2 did not start in the DNF. But yeah, just wanted to maximise the opportunity for Vic next week so he can pull it out of his rear end and hopefully win the thing.
Yeah, well, I to be honest, I wondered when there was a positional change that I didn't see at the start of the race. We were looking somewhere just slightly back of that, and when I saw Vic in front, I thought, oh, was there a little bit of OES team orders there? And then obviously later in the piece, when I saw you really pressuring him and he was sliding and struggling, and you got through, I thought, no, there's no team orders there. And then the margin at the back end was too big, probably for you to give away, albeit it was safe because Shane was still a long way back there. I just thought, maybe you guys would leave it to the last round, but yeah, it was still a good race to watch.
Yeah, I bottled it at the start, so I ended up getting through. Where was it? I think I was overtaking Moss, and yeah, I've locked up, and he got the better of it, and yeah, I wasn't going to let him go. He had the extra weight as well tonight, so gave it my all, but yeah, we always love our hard racing, so
yeah.
I've already had a chat with him, and yeah, he's fine with it. It's all into next week. We've piled it all into next week. So
you guys
play the long game.
Exactly right.
You guys are a tight unit, mate. I'm sure you've got it all worked out. So congratulations
nice work,
on the P3, Ethan, and looking forward to this final one next week, mate. It's really shaping up, especially those top 2 boys.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be good to spectate it either from the back or from the front. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Thanks,
Cheers, boys.
Enjoy the night.
Have a good night. You too.
See you, mate.
User was moved out
There
of
you
your
go.
channel.
So we shall grab down
God.
for the first time this season. What?
First time this season.
First time this season we get to talk to this guy. JB, you got us on comps?
And he's leading the championship, apparently.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, mate. We got you. Mate, what a strategy call between, firstly yourself and secondly Jamie Cota, but we're going to focus on you right now. Mate, was that the strategy the whole way, or was it evolving?
No, the wet tyre was obviously the tyre to start on, and then kind of came to me, and I was just happy to run with the guys in front, to be honest, and realised the car was actually pretty strong there, so I just kind of trucked and trained, and then the 2 front guys, I think Vic and Ethan, were really struggling. You could see their cars really starting to slide, and the tyres were still really, they weren't good either, but they were just, the car just seemed better. When they ducked in, Jamie stayed out, and I thought, oh well, I'll just go as long as I can with Jamie and see what happens. And the tyres got worse and worse.
We've got a couple of questions, mate. Were you searching for water when we were watching you offline, or were you just foxing?
No, the tyres got up to about 34 psi, so they were getting really, really hot. They were red, dead
Yeah.
set red, and I was starting to think they could pop. So I was just trying to drive it really straight.
We saw you. It looked like you were searching for water a lot out of the side of the track. Yeah.
And then I guess the other question too, mate, is during that phase of the race when those boys were actually running 2-minute 12s, you guys were out around 2:15s, 2:16s. Were you aware of the times they were running, and were you concerned about it?
No, I wasn't aware of their exact time. I did have Farmer in the team let me know he was on the dry tyre and he was.
Pull your mic a little closer, mate. You're just cutting out.
Sorry, he was doing like 2-minute 14s. Farmer was, and I was still doing 2-minute 15s on the wet. So so I figured they must be there or thereabouts. And once we got to the halfway and I saw a little rain cloud coming again, it was only a matter of time to bolt on another set of wets, really, and hope like hell it stayed wet.
So what were the two boys doing, J-Man? Tell John.
I figured they would have been coming on the slick tyre because they
were doing 12s.
Yeah, they were doing 12s, mate. Yep. They were just times that I hadn't seen. Period this week. Well, I haven't seen a lot this week, obviously, but you know, to go and see them doing that, and I thought, you know, and that it dawned on me as well that they were clearly on a slick tyre at that point of time because you're just not going to go that fast on a wet tyre. And I started sort of surmising whether or not you and Jamie were on the wet, and it was pretty clear that you were searching for water and stuff. And then, you know, I was kind of thinking, what was the condition of the tyre like if they were poked? You know, do you stay on that one there and then hope that it comes good when it rains again, or do you actually bite the 5 seconds and go out and you made the right call?
They wouldn't have lasted the full race, no way, even if it went wet, because the deg on the tyre being so soft was just like when I ran those slick tyres that whole race, and the deg was so bad at the end of that other enduro. That deg on that soft tyre was worse, and that was just at the halfway point.
Yeah. Well, look, congratulations on a P2, and you put a car between yourself and your championship rival of
Vic Chan.
So, you know, coming into that, you're 1 point ahead in the championship. Coming out of that serves you well going into the grand finale next week, which is another enduro. Man, you've got to have some belief now, John, surely.
Oh, mate, you just try and keep finishing races, don't you? Finish. The goal's always finish in the top 10 or try and minimise your mistakes.
It's top 5.
And,
I thought the goal was to come up here and talk to us.
I know what it's like up there, and it is a great spot, isn't it?
I do. Best seat in the house, mate. Best seat in the house.
It is a great
hey, look, we've got one more interview to get through, so we're just going to leave you and let you just relish that awesome strategy call and that awesome piece of driving. Apart from that little rotation there, you're late the piece, but nonetheless.
No, we didn't say anything.
Jamie, he did really well as well on that tyre. I'm sure the other boys, if they had picked the similar strategy, they'd be there or thereabouts as well. But look, hey, that's how the cards fall, isn't it? And it's just nice to finally
get up here,
get a better result.
Nice work. Thanks, John.
Congratulations, John, and well done, bud. And I'll talk to you in a bit.
All good.
Make it pal. There you go. So that was your P2. Now we are going to get down our race winner, the second of the guys that came up with the absolute masterclass strategy here. Jamie, you got us on comms?
Evening, guys.
Mate, great strategy call and great race pace, great nerve to hold in there, mate. How did that play out for you?
Very nerve-wracking the whole way. It was a bit of a Hail Mary, I suppose, to stay out. And I was just watching the little weather widget in the corner, pretty much between corners almost, just to see that the little plus icon next to the more rain would keep moving closer and closer, and it was just so slow. But then it finally came.
Totally micromanaging it, just like every corner, you reckon?
So look, me and Dave operate from different ends of the spectrum as far as what we're looking at on the night, and you know, Dave very much looks at the attitude of the car and what's in front of him, and obviously I've got
visual looking at the car.
Yeah, and I've got data cues. You know, I've got real-time sectors and telemetry, and I could see how strong the car was all night, realistically, from start to finish. Obviously there's phases of the race, Jamie. I guess I'm going to pose to you a question that I just asked John. Were you aware of Vic and Ethan's pace in the middle sector when they were on a slick? Were you aware of the times they were running and how fast they were going, or not?
Yeah, more or less. The benefit I had was before this track started to dry up, I napped the fastest lap. And so it stays purple in my little widget on the left. And so I could see the crossover.
Yeah.
And it took them quite a few laps until they got me.
Yep.
And so I thought, okay, well, if I've watching the weather correctly, I've probably played a good strategy here, but it could have still gone, balls up, so to speak.
Of course.
And then during the race, I managed to catch their lap times in the widget once or twice, and I could see they were about 4 seconds, 5 seconds during the middle of my stint. So I thought, I could probably hang it out here, and if I get lucky, then I've got it.
Nice work. It's that constant monitoring you guys do. With weather conditions like this, it's critical, isn't it?
And then, we could see after the pit stops, obviously, John Boy had a little bit of margin there, and then you bridged that back pretty quickly. It was out to about 4.1 at best, and you brought that back to 2, and then really, really close. And then, obviously, John Boy had a spin in there, which handed you around about I think it built its way up to about 10 seconds or something. So I guess you would have relaxed a little then, huh?
Not really, because I was too short on fuel, so I had to fuel save pretty massively at the end.
Okay. We did see it come back to 5 odd seconds, so I wonder what was happening there.
Yeah, that just added another layer of stress amongst just playing with traction control around the lap, every single lap. There was just always something to be paying attention to, so it was probably the most mentally draining race I've been in, but I have to congratulate John because he did a fantastic effort, and he probably played the better strategy by coming in a few laps earlier than I did. I probably hung it out, 1 or 2 laps too long. So I got fortunate from his spin.
Yeah. I think it was definitely battle on. I think the Ferrari probably, and yourself, you're driving and the Ferrari as a combination tonight, especially through that wetter phase of the race, did look really, really solid. And we know how fast you can go on the dry anyway, but I think it was about, to be honest, from the outside looking in tonight, it was all about maximizing the tire at the right time. And you guys, played if we looked at the whole field, mate, a good portion of the field did a 2-stopper. Yourself and John Boy, clearly the masterclass of timing that stuff. I think Dave Zero dug himself out of a huge hole by hanging out there. He was on the arse end of nowhere for the better part of the night, and then did the single stop to come back for, I think, P7 or P8 or something.
P7.
P7. So he did a great effort as well. So really emphasizes then in these enduros with changeable conditions how important that strategy is. So as good as you were driving in the Ferrari, you still needed that stroke of luck to go in your way. So man, that's just a solid effort. And I know you've had an up and down season with a couple of did not starts and a shocker in the first couple of races at the start of the season, but nonetheless, mate, you've bounced back, and you will move forward. And it'll be interesting to see what role you play in the Vic Chan John McDonald battle in the final round.
Yeah, that's looking pretty close, isn't it? So great that it's going down to the last race, and plenty of excitement for everyone on the grid and everyone watching as well.
Yeah, 100%. Well, look, you enjoy this one because you, of all people, know, as well as everybody else out there racing with you tonight, how hard it is to get the top spot at the moment, given the quality of the field up the pointy end at the moment. So well done. Enjoy it. And bit of luck, mate. We're talking to you next week in the same spot.
Hope so. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Jamie.
Here's Bud. Oh, there you go.
User was moved out
Jamie
of your
Cota.
channel.
Yeah,
Nice
Jamie
work.
Cota. Yeah.
Wow.
Stellar job.
What a race, Jamie.
Mate, yeah, far out.
Just strategies upon strategy tonight, changing weather conditions, long race, plenty of points gains to be made, and I didn't I knew the points were going to get tighter, you know, after tonight, but I just didn't think it would happen all the way through the field.
Well,
It's
there's a lot.
not only the pro drivers, the pro-ams series with, you know, like probably a big gain for Farmer, and also I think Bobby Laycock in the AM series as well.
Well, like you say, I think it gives us a lot to dissect next week leading into the
Does.
final round because, you know, there were so many big movers and shakers in each class. You know, like you say, Farmer over Brad Robinson,
Yep.
Bob Laycock over many of his rivals. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean,
It's all happening next week for the final round 8 of the Asrnz 2022 GT3 series. J-Man, it's been awesome tonight. What a freaking cracking race.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That was awesome. Changing weather conditions, lots of strategy stuff, very entertaining. Enjoyed it immensely, my friend. Glad to have you as always, and we'll catch up next week. Thursday night. Don't miss it.
Epic. Thanks, viewers.
Good night, everyone.